So hi guys, welcome back to my channel. You're here with Diva. I hope you're all safe and healthy in this time. So today's pick a card readings, it's a question basically, but I will combine two together. It's one of those requests. It's what was happening in him or her when we had this physical contact. But then again, the person who requested this wanted to kind of emphasize on the fact that why is it so important, attractive to me, like I'm curious about it, to see what is happening in me. So it's more like I want to know in some way, why am I curious in knowing what was happening into him or her. Okay, so mostly we're going to focus on what was happening to the person when you guys were having a specific physical contact with each other. Okay, and I'm also gonna give you two cards from Hidden Truth and Archetype, as in why is it important. So it could be your energy with the archetype I will be using, plus the hidden secret oracle. I will have Monology and two of my sacred geometry cards decks to kind of tune into what energy I was in when you and I were touching each other, or you were touched by me, or I did something in some way, or you did something in some way. So it's more like focusing on what was happening in both of us, but the main Celtic spread is on your person. So I am reading for your person's perspective, and there's two decks, two cards I will be using to channel what was happening, why you were interested, or why you want to. For me, first of all, this is a question. It's like you're interested. Why? Because you might like the person, you might genuinely like the person, or because if you don't, you're not necessarily interested, there's an element of indifference. It means that you don't really care about the person. But because you want to know about them, it means that you either care, have extra feelings for them, or you're in love with them. It's as triggering as that. It's very simple to kind of mention. It's like, why would you think about them? You care about them, or you feel guilty of doing something that you kind of took care of, somehow your own needs. Could be many ways. We will see. I have 5 decks here. So pile 1 is the Vinci Enigma Tarot deck. Then you have pile 2, which is Osho Zen Tarot, and I think it's in the reverse. So Osho Zen Tarot. Then you have pile 3, which is Mystic Mondays Tarot, pile 2, which is Crow Tarot, and pile 5, which is Mary L Tarot. So it could be definitely timeless readings. Whichever time you read, you watch this, you read this, perhaps you see my video and you're drawn to it, perhaps, and you click on it, then basically that's it. And you guys know better than me what will resonate and not. I believe you guys are all masters of your own life. If you want other people to take responsibility for you, then that's you deciding to do that. Also, if it resonates, if it helps you out, if you like my energy, or you like what I do, you want to subscribe, you want to donate to my channel, spoil me like that. Or if you want private readings, the terms of conditions of services are down below. Make sure to read them all. It's like gambling. I don't like to kind of sugarcoat things. I will tell you straightforwardly to your face, I'm not a psychic, I don't have any certificate, I'm not a counselor. And that amount I'm putting there, whichever time, I'm worthy of those, whichever way I am, because I'm putting the energy here and I'm creating, and I'm tuning into my intuition to read for you, and you will know if it's gonna resonate for you or not. I don't give explanation. I don't know who the person is. I'm not the person, definitely, but when I channel it, I say I'm like this person. But then again, it's for fun, it's for entertainment reasons, absolutely. If you do believe, or you tune into a specific energy inside of me, or you believe me to be somebody, then that's in your life, that's in your system, that's your inner self. And I'm gonna say namaste to all of you who really respect and love me unconditionally, and I hope you do the same thing, connected to yourself and other people. Okay, so this is the little intro, and I'm just gonna drink my little drink here. So what was happening in them, her or him, when we had this physical contact, and why is it so important to me to know what was happening inside of him or her, okay, during that time? Why were you doing this, or why was I doing this? But it's like more insight giving, perhaps, okay? So you have pile 1, decode your destiny. You have Enigma, Da Vinci Enigma Tarot. So the Da Vinci Enigma is a very, I don't want to say enigmatic deck. It gives I, as the reader, when I kind of like took the time to get to know the deck, the tarot, I kind of had some questions that the deck had, like extra questions, and I was drawn to writing them in, on my cards. So when I'm going to be creating the Celtic spread, I'm going to be giving you several questions too, but this could be about your person thinking at the same time. So the person you might kind of have here might be a very philosophical type of person, as if like they ask themselves several questions when they do something. Like, why am I doing this? Why? It's like when I'm doing certain things, I'm very aware of myself doing certain things. So the person could be very aware, or a person that like has a certain inner talking to them, okay? We'll see how the Celtic spread is going to be. But this is how I'm channeling your person to be if you were drawn to Da Vinci Enigma Tarot deck. Okay, so everything you do or everything I do, I kind of have a certain question mark connected to it, like a detective in some way. Or I'm a philosopher, or I kind of like to, like, I like to see stuff in a very transparent manner. Like, I need to see the under the hidden things. It's like I read in between the silence, or it's like sometimes when there's a silence, there are people that are like, why is it so silent? And they wish to kind of just read into the room energy. It's like that. It's a person that reads into things. Sometimes it could be assumptions, as if like I kind of have delusions of certain stuff, but it's a more curious energy, this one. I'm sensing it's a more curious person, or a person that doesn't like to be it's like I question a lot of stuff. I'm that type of person. Okay, so I have the Marielle Tarot. So what was happening to your person while you guys were having this physical contact? And this is what I need to kind of open up. So I have honesty. And I have synergy. Okay. This is about you, and this is about them also. So it's time to release negativity. This is what I was saying to myself, and why it's important for you to know about this. So you have the tears, okay, and the hidden secret of yours. We both know I am not the one for you. So you think that you're not the one for them, perhaps, and you still kind of go with the flow. You might believe that you are not good enough for them, or we are not, like, we both know I am not the one for you. So this is your message to your person. You want to tell to your person that I'm not the one for you. That's what you want to say. And there's a tear element, as if like it's precious to you, but then it's too humble, or it's too majestic, but then again, you're not eager to go in it, or you think you're not good enough for them, or you think that you're not worthy enough for them, or you believe deep down inside of you that you guys are not meant to be. It's that way. And why you want to know about it is because there's an element of nostalgia. you kind of are hurt for them, basically, that they are this way to connect with you. So what was I thinking when I was kind of, what was happening to me when you and I were having this physical contact? How do you bridge the microcosm of daily life with the macrocosm of spiritual existence? So Hierophant, it's a very spiritual person. I'm gonna say it again. Or it's a very enigmatic person overall. Then you have Nine of Air. My challenge is, what do you fear, flee, or fight against? So you have danger. My challenge is danger, perhaps, or there's something that I'm fighting against you, or for you, or with you, perhaps. The reason why you have the Three of Earth, perspective. The question is, what viewpoint is guiding or confusing the issue? So whichever way I'm kind of like approaching it, what is the blockage in this? And then you have the Six of Air, flowering. Which belief and attitude supports or blocks you? Okay, so you have attitude and perspective. In the initial energy, in the initial like beginning, middle, and then ending, or past, present, and near future, you have Four of Earth, assembly. Who is controlling what? So you have assembly. I'll show you. These are mostly Da Vinci's works in his diaries. So this is mostly like photocopies of certain portraits and stuff like that they kind of like put archetypes on it. So what needs your support? Page of water. So okay, wait, one more. Seven of fire, success. What is in your favor? Where must you back down? Okay, and in the middle section you have Enigma. Okay. This is High Priestess, I think. What wisdom do you read in the book of your soul? How must you apply it in this matter? It's a very and then in the why and how are you trying to be right? Five of Air, contention. This is also in the present moment. Like two kids fighting, I think. Then in the near future you have these two. So you have Four of Water in reverse. Where have desires outstripped expectations? This was in the reverse. Okay. And then you have the Empress. So what you take up how can you take up your unique place as a living being? Where can you guide others with love and kindness? This is the Empress. And this is in reverse. Okay. Overall, and below the deck, you have the Ace of Water. So there's a earth element here, but there's an element of I want to give a new opportunity, for a palpable opportunity for you and me. Okay, so with this physical contact, I feel like there's a new beginning in some way. But with the Hierophant, it's more I wish to establish something with you. Okay, so it's more about how to be more established with you. But what energy was I going into? I was very honest when I touched you. There was an element of honesty. There was an element of I was tuning into you. I was merging with you in some way, but I was collaborating with you also. And it's time to release negativity. I wish to release the blockages with you. I don't want blockages. I don't want walls between you and me overall. And with the Hierophant, it's more like I wish to establish it, or I wish to kind of come into I want to kind of approach your point of view and try to mirror it back to you, perhaps. The reason why I would wish to do that is for the for you and me to kind of be on the same wavelength. So your person was using the touch to kind of grasp your attention and try to have an equal give and take kind of thing. How can I express this? It's like, let's say I need your attention because I have a question for you. It's not necessarily the same here, but I'm just kind of like using this example to kind of make you understand. I have a question and you're not seeming to hear me. Okay, you don't hear me, or you're distracted or stuff like that. So the only way for me and you to kind of have the same wavelength, I need your attention, right? I need you to kind of look in my eyes so that I can ask you the question, right? So what I'm doing here is that I'm grasping you and I'm making sure that by touching you, you're looking at me and you're coming to my same wavelength so that I can explain something to you, or something of that sort, or ask you the question I wanted to ask you because you didn't seem to be hearing my question, or you didn't seem to be giving me the attention I needed so that I can ask you. But it's a more simple basic element here, okay? But your person wants to be honest with you and they want to merge with you and kind of like have a good equal give and take kind of vibe, okay? But with the Six of Air, there's an element of like there is a blockage, but I don't wish you to block. As if like I'm aware you're not looking at me, perhaps that's why I kind of came and touched you, right? Because I'm giving you a certain, like, I'm changing my perspective. I'm saying if I were in your space and you're busy doing something, right? Or you're doing something else, or the person assumed that you're doing something else. Okay, so it's like I need to kind of get your attention. So what am I doing? I kind of perhaps tried looking into you, but you didn't necessarily look in my eyes. So I'm kind of called you, perhaps you didn't hear me. Or I kind of like waved at you from a distance, but you didn't check me out. So it's more like I needed to kind of come and touch you so that you can have that eye contact with me. I can have your attention on me so that I can do something for you. That's the overall situation here. And my challenge with the Nine of Air is danger. What do you fear, flee, or fight? So what if you were fearing my touching you? What if you were kind of fighting me? Like, what if me touching you would have offended you? It's a bit that way. That was my challenge. That was what was happening. It's like, what if you were becoming more anxious that I was touching you? Or my challenge was to be anxious, but it's not even that. It's more like the impact I could have had on you. Like, why should I touch you? But it's like I wanted to touch you because that's the only way I can have you and me, like, look at each other and definitely have your attention. Your ears to me, your eyes to me, or it's like your attention on me. You're consciously looking at me. It's a bit like that, the energy here. And in the initial phase, it's more like I was happy that I succeeded. That it's like with the Four of Earth, with the assembly, it's more an energy of who is controlling what. So in some way, in between you and me, okay, on a physical level, I was showing that it's like I'm here for you to kind of, if you need any support. Okay, I'm here for you if you need anything. But at the same time, it was successful to me because in some way I was doing what I wished to do. I was getting your attention in some way. And it was mostly in my favor that I was doing this in some way. But at the end, it's more like I knew also that you kind of have a certain control element to you, that I'm not able to control you, but I was able to kind of impact you in a specific way. Then I stood there, like, it's like the whole situation, be it I was touching you or not, there was this element that I was walking on eggshells a bit. As if like I have an intention, but you might be intimidating that it's like, even if I wanted to ask you that question, let's say I needed to touch you so that your focus could be on me. I was happy at the first, and I kind of grasped your attention. I was showing you that I'm here for you, and that it's like I was trying to do something, but deep down I felt like you were looking at me as if I was trying to control you, okay? And that I tried, because I was feeling like you thought that I was trying to control you, I tried to kind of be more silent about it, or act a specific way that it's like I'm not necessarily trying to be right here. It's like the person tried acting like silent and not give you an explanation to what his behavior was. Okay, so I kind of like didn't want to give you an explanation. I acted silent there. I was silent there while that physical contact happened. So it's like I'm not gonna give you necessarily an explanation, but then with the Four of Water, disappointment, it's more like, it's like I realized that perhaps you were disappointed in me, or I was disappointed in you, that it's like you were not necessarily showing me more love, or more like I wanted you to be more kind to me, but then again, it's like I acted specifically. So the person might have a lot of respect towards you, or doesn't like to bother you, or even if they were to bother you, with the Hierophant, it's more an established energy. So I wish that you and I establish a specific understanding in some way. And I want to kind of have a certain equal give and take with you overall. But here, the person is not necessarily confused or wishy-washy. It's more a person that's a bit intimidated by you not wanting them. It's a bit that way. Or not feeling comfortable with them. But it's a very I don't want to bother you. I want to keep a distance from you. And I'm very in tune with you, okay? Overall. Okay, so this is what was happening to me at that time when I was touching you, or when I was having this physical contact with you. I didn't want to give you an explanation why I was touching you or why I was doing this. But then again, at the initial phase, I was happy that I was showing you a certain support mechanism, that I was kind of trying to kind of hold on to you a bit, but you didn't necessarily see that. And then in the near future, I was a bit disappointed that I didn't get anything out of you yet. As if like I was expecting a specific thing from you. But I was happy that I got your attention in my own way. Okay, and why it's important for you, the viewer, to know what was happening to them is because in some way you believe that you're not the one for him or her. I'm not the one for you, and for you. I feel like I'm not the one for you, or I cannot give you what you seek, perhaps. That's the thing here. You're believing deep inside of you that you will not give this man or this woman much more than what they are expecting. And with the tear, it's more like you're looking at this as if it's just gonna be a memory of yours. So you believe that you're not meant for relationships overall. That's what I'm sensing here. That's the only thing I can say, or Spirit is saying, or you will know better than me. If it didn't resonate, then just discard it. It's okay, guys. Doesn't need to resonate all the time. Okay, so this is 1. This is pile 1. Now pile 2, whoever chose Osho Zen Tarot, welcome to your reading. I hope you're all safe and healthy in this time. So let's see overall what was happening in your person. Like, what was he or she thinking, feeling, etc. while you guys were having that physical contact. And there's another question which is more for you, whoever's watching me. You want to know, let's say, why is it important, or you're curious about knowing what was happening to him. Like, why am I like curious about this guy or this girl? Like, I touched them or they touched me, but I want to know why it's important for me, whoever was touched or was the one touching, what was happening inside of them. So there's 2 questions. Overall, the Celtic spread is about your person, whoever you're here for, whoever you touched or touched you. Okay, and then there's a simple question I will just answer with 2 cards, is mostly why do you really care about knowing why they touched you or what was happening inside of them? So this is mostly about your person. So you have intimacy, definitely. Tantric journey. Okay. And then soul time. Yeah, it's definitely a very awake or conscious person. Definitely. Now, what was he also thinking or she thinking? Confidence is your key to success. Okay. And why is it very important for you to know what was happening to them? So you have the fault line. Okay. And I am becoming a better person. This is you. As if like, why do you want to know if they're being interested in you or what was happening inside them? It's more like you believe that you as a person are becoming more lovable. It's important to you to know if you're a good person for them or not. With the fault line though, there's an element of scars. A crack. I just channeled Starborn, so because there's a crack like that on the egg of the Starborn card, the archetype. Well, you are like through this contact, okay, through your curiosity connected to this person, you're starting to believe that you could definitely become a better person. I don't know what I'm saying, but it's like, this is what's kind of like coming up here. So you're becoming a better person, definitely. But with the fault line, it's more like you see yourself as a scarred person. You see yourself as a person that has many bruises, has many faults. I'm not perfect. You criticize yourself a lot, perhaps. And with this one, it's like what your person was going in during the physical contact and how you're kind of being curious about it. Well, there's many ways, but this one overall, it's very soul potent. It's like I have intimacy, I have tantric journey, I have soul time. And then it's like I was trying to be confident because that's my key to success with you overall. So what was happening to me while this contact, physical contact was happening? So you have experience, which is the Three of Wands or Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles. Okay. My challenge was the awareness and the master. Very interesting cards. Very interesting cards. The reason why it's understanding in the reverse. Then in the past or the beginning, it's transformation. You have the Death card. In the present moment, you have the Three of Swords, which is isolation. And then in the near future, you have courage. Below the deck, we have projections and clinging to the past. Conditions. Conditioning. So, this person does genuinely like you, okay? You mean something to me. I'm not gonna go romantic because this one is more spiritual, okay? it's more deeper than romance. This is not romance at all. This is very deep. It's either you and I are very deep people, or we have scars that are very deep, or you have scars that are really deep, or I'm aware that you have scars that are very deep. So I'm kind of trying to adapt to you, or I myself have those deep scars, but you don't necessarily see that for now, because there's an element of trying to understand. So there's two people here who wish to kind of understand each other, or your person wants to understand you. So the main situation with the Three of Pentacles, or Three of Wands, I'm mixing all of them all the time, but yeah, Three of Wands. So I wanted to give myself a new beginning. I wanted to show you warmth. Okay, so I was experiencing you, but then again, there's an element of I wanted to merge with you. I wanted to, give you some of my work, but have that new beginning. Why do I want to do that? Is because I'm understanding that you are ready to, let go of all the pain, okay? Or let go of a certain element of conditioning yourself to believe that you cannot, go. Like, it's like you put yourself certain boundaries and you work with them. But then again, I as a person see and I'm aware of those boundaries you put, but I want to be this one here that's telling you that you can like liberate yourself from this cage element. That you cage yourself sometimes, or that you're kind of like very like you have your own way of being. But it's like I'm seeing that there are certain thought patterns that you have that make you believe that you have to be the caged bird. But the door is always open, and I want you to know that the door is open for you to come and kind of like meet me halfway there. Okay? My challenge with the master and awareness is to kind of like make you wake up to the fact that I'm here. I'm here and I will not harm you, and it's like I will love you in some way. Or it's like, even if I were to love you, you don't need that attachment element with me. There's that element here. With the master, it's Osho. For me, Osho is definitely somebody very heart chakra potent. But this one here in the Osho Center is about awakening the third eye concept. And the master is more about you're the master of your own life. And once you kind of open your third eye chakra, and that you're very balanced in it, you kind of have a certain element of I'm the master of my own life, because I'm very aware and I can definitely work things out. So when I was touching you, what was I feeling was that I was enjoying the experience of the touch. Why so? Is because I'm feeling like I can understand you by touching you, or you can understand what I wish for you to understand through that touch. And my challenge, being the master in awareness, is to make you understand that you are an aware person, or to try to work through your awareness, because perhaps you're a very aware person. And I wish you to be more masterful of yourself and get out of those boundaries that you set yourself in. And in the initial phase, when I was touching with the transformation, it's more like I was wishing to definitely transform. I know that my touching you might have been something interfering you, like an interference or a disturbance, but I still wanted to do it. I still was eager to see if I was able to transform what we had through that contact. And with the isolation, with the Three of Swords, there was an element that I was kind of like hurt a bit, but it was more my ego that was hurt here. It's more an element of my ego was hurting when I was touching you. I felt like I was not loved, or it's like there's an element of, it's like you needed to touch a person to know or to see if they were interested in giving you specific affection, perhaps. But my ego was hurting a bit that I didn't get something out of it, mostly. But at the end, with the courage, it's more like I said, okay, like I will kind of get out of my ego, perhaps, and kind of wish to, you know, kind of be strong enough to know what the unknown is gonna take. So it's like I'm gonna see what's gonna happen afterwards, the touching. So during the physical contact, your person was not necessarily, he was enjoying himself or herself, but there's an element of they wanted to be transformed or they were transforming, and there was an ego crash there when they were touching you, because of the way you reacted, perhaps. And with the courage, it's more like at the end, I just kind of said to myself that it's okay, like I'm still happy that I was able to experience this with this person, so I can continue on. Okay, it's more like I'm gonna see what you're gonna do next, perhaps that way. Okay, so this was what was happening to me, but I was acting confident during the whole time. I was feeling very drawn to you, and I was wishing to have that privacy with you. The tantric journey and the soul time is two cards of the same meaning, definitely. For me, soul tantric journey, I always say tantric sex, and then soul time, it's more about, you know, spirit element or spiritual soul connection, let's say. So the frequency of soul time asks us to allow the possibility of a new reality to emerge, one that embraces the concept that while the corporal body is mortal, the soul is timeless, limitless, and infinite. And then you have tantric journey. The frequency of tantric journey helps us to unlock the hidden knowledge and wisdom that we intrinsically hold about how to reach a state of wholeness and completion through our sensual experiences with ourselves and with another. And then you have the energy of intimacy supports us trusting that we are safe to allow closeness. So I felt that it was a safe enough time for me to kind of be close to you in that way. Okay, but it's more meaningful than it seems. Okay, so I wanted to touch you there, no matter how difficult the situation was, or I wanted to be touched by you. But there's an element of like ego that I needed to kind of release. And for you, why it's important for you to know what was happening inside of them is because you feel like you have a lot of scars, or it's like because you have your guard up, you want to know if this person is definitely a trustable person, or if they were touching you because they genuinely liked you, etc. And from what I'm sensing is that the person does genuinely like you. I genuinely do like you. Okay, so that's why I'm a bit like walking on eggshells for some part here. Okay, so I'm becoming a better person, and you're becoming a better person by seeing that this person does genuinely connect with you. Okay, so this is it. Okay, pile 2, hope it resonated. Thank you very much. Now pile 3, whoever chose Mystic Monday, welcome to your reading. I hope you're all safe and healthy in this time. So let's see overall. There's the questions. So the first question is mostly what was happening to him or her when we were having a physical contact. Okay, physical contacts can be like sleeping together or touching each other, but I know based on the person, whatever was happening, perhaps it's mostly a simple touch, but it's a request we're doing. But I'll say we're gonna go contact here. Physical contact. What was he or she feeling? Okay, thinking, perceiving while you and I were touching each other. I was touching you, or you were touching me. Okay, and then there's a second question which we're just gonna answer with a 2 deck, like 2 cards. Why is it important for you to know what was happening to him or her? Why was it important for you to know? What is, like, why are you interested? Why is it attractive? Why is it, like, intriguing for you to know? Why was he or she doing this to me? Or what was happening to them at that time? I touched them, they touched me or something. Okay. Bear with me a moment. I'm just gonna kind of shuffle these, but it's not shuffle. Just prepare them. So we're ready. So what was their side of the story? So you have multi-dimensionality card. Then you have compassion. And then you have authority. Okay. And this is one thing that they're mentioning to themselves. Prosperity lies ahead. So I might kind of have success that I'm sure about. So you have new moon in Taurus. And this is mostly about you. Okay, whoever's watching this, why are you interested about this person? I look for you everywhere. So you look for them everywhere. And you have the cave. So there's like an element of you're a secret admirer of theirs. And you want to stay a secret admirer of theirs, basically. I stalk you, perhaps? Do you stalk this person? You all know, guys. It's like, I know they're triggering questions I'm asking you guys, but overall, with the cave and I look for you everywhere. You look for this person everywhere. And why would I be curious about them? Is because I admire them, right? I adore them, I love them, etc. So when you were touching them, or we were being touched by them, okay? So with the multidimensionality, compassion, or authority. So I'm a very compassionate person, for sure. The multidimensionality, I'm kind of like perceiving from all senses, as if like I'm trying to kind of be more broad-minded here in this situation. Compassionate towards you, but still have a certain authority to me. And I know that success is right behind, like it's successful. It's like I know prosperity lies ahead. I know like it's a win-win kind of situation, perhaps. It's a bit that way. So what was I feeling with the Queen of Wands? I was feeling very wanted, very like composed. I had all my things going the way I want them to be. My challenge when this contact was happening, this physical contact was happening, you have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. The reason why is the Four of Swords. In the past, you have Princess of Wands with Ace of Swords. In the present moment, you have the Queen of Pentacles. And then you have Knight of Pentacles. Okay. And below the deck, you have the Justice card with the Three of Pentacles. So it's a different way of talking for this person. So it's more what was happening to me during this physical contact was more that I was feeling like acknowledged. I was feeling like I kind of had a certain masterful element over myself, my passion, and with you, okay? And the reason why it's more like with the Four of Swords, it's more I knew what the truth was, and or I have like a truth that's close to my chest, and it's like I'm also aware of the element of hurt, perhaps. But in the challenge area, you have the Eight of Pentacles. So during this contact, my challenge was to kind of work harder, to kind of express myself in the same manner. Let's say if you were the one touching me, like it's more like be more, think about a different way so that I can interact with you if it's not just physical, like expressing myself artistically or differently, trying to express myself in a different manner. Okay, so that's my challenge here. In the initial phase with the Ace of Swords and the Princess of Wands, my aim was to show you a specific truth that it's like I'm eager to go on an adventure. Okay, so like I'm eager to go on an adventure with you. But because one touch can lead to another if it's very intimate and you both decide to surrender to it. If you both were surrendering to it, let's say, it's more like I was kind of like thinking if I should just kind of like go on that adventure element, like surrender to it, or you know, be the reliable one there, and you know, be more palpable, and you know, expect something more, you know, serious. And then in the near future with the Knight of Pentacles, to take it slow from there. So what was happening in this person during the physical contact was the person was feeling very acknowledged, very beautiful, or when they were touching you, they were feeling like they were doing what they wanted to do, basically. But it's hidden there. It's like it's an inward recognition or an inward way of like being passionate. I was being passionate there. And the reason why it was that is because on a physical level, I showed that I'm more composed. I showed that it's like, you know, I'm relaxed overall, but there's a truth and I was hurt before in some way. So in the initial phase, it's more, I wanted to kind of say the truth or hold the truth that I'm eager to go on that experience in the physical contact. Then inwardly, you have the Queen of Pentacles, which was more like I wanted to be more reliable. I wanted to be more recognized. I wanted to be more serious. I wanted to be more serious. And at the end with the Knight of Pentacles, it's more like I was definitely wishing to kind of work on the connection. Work on the connection. It's not the physical touching. This is more on the connection. Because I'm trying to control myself overall. I was trying to control myself, but I was being compassionate towards you because I genuinely liked you. I felt recognized in some way. And with the multidimensionality, it's more like I kind of approached you from a more balanced and harmonized manner. And you as the viewer, why is it important for you to know what was happening inside of me, let's say, is because you are infatuated with them. You are their secret admirer. You might want them to know about it or not want to know about it, but like whoever I was when whatever was happening between you, if be it I initiated it or you initiated it, I kind of wanted to talk to you in that way that it's like I'm eager to go on that experience. I'm eager to go on that experience overall. I don't know why I'm saying that. Usually I can go to different energies, but it's like afterwards in the present moment you had like the inward cards, and then the near future was also an inward card. So perhaps whoever is watching, it's like I was happy I did that, okay? Or I was happy you did that. Overall, I knew that there was something much more to expect, okay, with that touching. So I was expecting something, and I was wishing to kind of take you seriously. I wanted you to know that I was taking you seriously, or you're not a joke, basically. I'm taking you seriously, okay? With that physical touch. That was what was happening inside of me. Okay, so that's it. Now, pile 4, whoever chose the Crow Tarot, welcome to your reading. I hope you're all safe and healthy in this time. So let's see overall what was happening to him while he was, you and him or her, okay, them, were sharing a physical contact, okay? You guys were touching each other, perhaps kissing each other. Oh my God. But you will know which physical contact, okay? This could be very subtly done, as it could be very seriously done, boldly done. But we'll see. First time of you. I had the 2 cups there, but and there's 2 questions here, okay? So the first one is more like what was happening to them while you guys were sharing or doing a physical contact. There's the second question, which I'm gonna answer with 2 little decks, 2 little cards. It's more about why are you curious, or why is it very like intriguing for you to know what was happening to him or her, okay, during that time. So we'll just kind of like answer those things. Okay, look, the 2 of Cups really popped several times, okay? I wanted to kind of melt your heart. I wanted to speak to your heart. I wanted to kind of arriving to your heart space. So what was happening to me? What was happening to me while we were sharing that physical contact? So what's the main situation? Like, not the main situation. His perspective or her perspective while the physical contact was happening. So you have duality, you have balance, and you have passion. It's a very centered energy, guys. This one, it's like he or she is very centered. You as the viewer, you have Mystic with the we need to let each other go. And a new romantic cycle begins. This is what your person is saying to himself or herself. Love is in the air in this pile. So what's the main situation? You have the 7 of Wands. So I have 7 of Wands with the 6 of Pentacles. My challenge was 8 of Swords. The reason why is the 4 of Pentacles. In the initial energy, you have the 10 of Wands. In the present moment, you have the Emperor. And then in the near future, you have the 2 of Wands. So I made my decision, okay? Like with this one, I made my decision. The physical touching, it's more like I wanted to absolutely have an equal give and take with you. Okay, with the 7 of Wands, there's an element of I definitely want to initiate success with you. I wish to initiate success with you. I don't care. Like, I made the decision. I feel a connection with you. So I'm going to give it birth. Okay, so it's like that. You have the 2 of Swords with the 4 of Swords. No, 2 of Wands with the 4 of Wands. And then you have the Ace of Wands. If you look here, there's like 2 there, 4 here, and then 1 that the crow is on. So overall, that's how I was feeling, okay? And why was I doing that is because I want to give an opportunity. I wanted to juggle it, and I really had that intention of juggling that opportunity, okay? So, but my challenge was perhaps with the Eight of Swords, it's more like I was always stuck in my head. I was always kind of like thinking and thinking and thinking about what you're going to judge me to be, or how other people are going to judge me to be, or how I'm going to judge myself when I'm going to do it, or if you're doing it, perhaps. So in the initial phase with the 10 of Wands energy here, it's more like I'm eager to work with the burden. So when I touched you, or when you touched me, or whenever the physical contact was happening, it was very heavy for me. So if I'm a male, it might be that I genuinely like you. So it's hard for males to be in contact, a close contact with their female interests or male interests. You know how it is. Males usually have a certain weakness like that. So so this person was feeling that way. If this is a female, then she's kind of feeling the heaviness, let's say, or the contact came on a bit heavy, but it was like tolerable because that's what I want, right? That's what I want, so I don't mind. Like that. With the Emperor card in the present moment, it's more like when I touched you, I was being responsible. So it's more like I was the one responsible. I was like the father figure there, or I was like the guardian there, or I felt like I was protected during this touching. So when you were touching me, I felt like you were protecting me or something. Okay, or you were being responsible for me. And then with the Two of Wands, it's more like I decided that it's like I wish to kind of hold on to you like a magnet, a bit like that. Okay, so a new romantic cycle begins. You have duality, balance, and passion. I was quite passionate about you. I'm quite passionate about you. So when this was happening, it's more like I wanted to have that give and take with you, and I'm holding on to you. I want to kind of make you feel protected, and I don't mind about the heavy emotions or the heavy passion I feel for you. And at the end with the Two of Wands, it's more like I make my decision. I want to collaborate with you. I want you to lean on me, or I want to lean on you. A bit that way. Okay, so, and this on your perspective, how you're approaching your person with the Mystic, we need to let each other go. It's more like you don't want to form an attachment with him or her. I don't want to. And with the Mystic, it's more like I'm seeing things the way they are. So in some way, you're the more realistic thinker here. So why is it important for you to, know what's happening in them? Is that you want to monitor them in some way. You don't want to kind of go in a specific energy that they're going in. So you just want to know if they're being romantic here. You don't want them to kind of be in love with you. Underneath the surface, you're kind of not sure if you want to love them, or you're eager to kind of receive love with them, or you don't want to love them. You don't want to be loved, or you don't want to love them. It's like a burden for you, perhaps, this one. We need to let each other go. You're the one thinking this way. And if it's not necessarily the way it is, then you just need to choose another pile. And if it's not that one, then you know better than me. But for some of you, you know what you want, perhaps. With the Mystic, it's more like you see things the way they are. So you don't want to go in a relationship with them. That's what I have. Why is it important for you to know about it? Is because you don't want to go in a relationship with them. You're not comfortable. You don't feel comfortable going in a relationship with them. Now, pile 5, whoever chose Marielle Tarot, welcome to your reading. I hope you're all safe and healthy in this time. So let us shuffle well this deck. So the question mostly is, you have 2 questions. The first one is mostly what was happening to him or her while you guys were sharing a physical contact. It could be any type of physical contact. It could be slightly physical contact. It could be intense penetration ones. From what I'm sensing, I'm just going to go with physical contact because The request is mostly connected to someone specific. So, so what was happening to him or her while you guys were sharing the physical contact? Okay, we're good. We're ready. So what was I feeling? So you have time. I have discernment. This is yours, the viewers. And a new start is coming. So there's a new start coming. You have new moon. Now, why is it important for you to know about what was happening to your person? It's like, why am I interested in knowing about them? So you don't know how hard it was to let you go. So you were planning on letting this person go, and you have the ocean. So you're a very, very deep and emotional type of person. So you kind of like to let go of people before they kind of impact you strongly like that. So you're a very, very deep person. You feel very deeply, you love very deeply, and you don't know how hard it was to let you go. You wanted to let them go, you believe that you have let them go, and now that they're touching you, it's more like your emotions are coming back on the surface, right? You're kind of like scared of like not being able to let them go after certain stuff will happen, perhaps.
No way it's responsible.
I'll just separate those for now. So what's the main situation? You have the 9 of discs. So you have the 9 of discs in reverse. Then you have your challenge is my challenge when I was sharing the contact with you. You have the Fool, which is the challenge here. The reason why is the Ace of Discs. Don't tell me. In the initial energy, you have the 6 of Swords. In the present moment, you have the King of Wands with one more 8 of Cups. And then in the near future, you have the 7 of Swords in reverse. And below the deck, we have 7 of Cups. And the Queen of Discs in reverse. Okay. This is the more discerning point of view, okay? You have time and discernment. And new start is coming. So when I was touching you and when we were sharing this physical contact with the 9 of Discs, it's more like my heart was beating, okay? That's what I kind of channel always with the 9 of Discs. Even though the 9 of Discs has a more spiritual perspective to it, there's a lot of chakras and Kundalini awakening till the heart phase here. It's like if you look at the heart space here, it's more where the wings are focused. So 9 could be also linked with the heart for me sometimes. And Nine of Discs is more that fulfillment, that 369 concept. And my heart was definitely beating when it was happening. And why it was beating is because I was making changes with my own hands, as if like I was kind of consciously making the moves, okay, or I was consciously allowing certain stuff to happen. And my challenge with the Fool was to definitely kind of embrace it all, have a certain faith element to me, and just embrace the whole experience of doing that with you, or you doing that with me. Okay, so in the initial phase with the Six of Swords, it's more I'm kind of want to nurture you and take care of you, or be taken care of by you genuinely. And afterwards, in the middle section with the King of Wands and the Eight of Cups, it's more like I had a huge desire surge inside of me, and I kind of like wanted to give up my like self-control a bit. But because I kind of am the like, I'm very mature, okay? Whoever your person is, very mature person. So when the energy of like passion surged on them, they were holding back in a more comfortable manner, okay, inside. And afterwards with the Seven of Swords, it's more like the white snake. It's like it's more like I was needing to heal certain stuff. So what was happening with the Seven of Swords energy at the end, it's more like I wanted to hypnotize you, but I didn't do so. Okay, so it's more like I wanted to put you under a spell, or I wanted to take things under my control, but then again, I didn't allow my physical energy, my physical passionate side to kind of like win over me. So I just kind of like became more like, it's like my inner child took care of the whole passion element. Okay, so I was able to cope with the intense passion element I sensed coming during that contact. And with the Seven of Swords, it's more like I tried to kind of like deal with it alone, but I was healing at the same time. So the whole experience was healing to this person, but or they wanted to heal certain things, but there's a new change coming, there's a new start coming overall. So what was happening to your person is more my heart was beating, and like I was happy I was doing this, so I was excited, but my challenge was to not be so like blinded with the whole situation, like just try to kind of like have more faith in the whole situation, but not kind of like let everything go, like release everything. And it's like I was nurturing, all was good at the initial phase, but then there was a period where my physical passion just kind of surged up. But then again, I had this element of like I was able to cope with it in that moment. And then in the near future with the Seven of Swords, it's more like I try to deceive you, but it's not deception per se energy. It's more like I was healing certain stuff. I was like, it was more like my passion was being tested here overall. Okay, so how much of my passion can I control, let's say, was being tested here. So that's what was happening to your person. And then it's like for you, you as a viewer, it's like, why are you interested in knowing what's happening to this person, is because you had let them go. There was a time where you had let them go, and it's like it's happening again. So it's like you love deeply, so you don't want to, you know, get hurt again. So it's that way here, this one. Okay, so this is all that I have for you guys. I hope it kind of resonated, and if it didn't, I do apologize. But when we're saying physical contact, it could definitely be physical, as it could just simply be just physical, simple touching or kissing, or, you know, just being near each other. Could also be like specific rubbing element. I don't know. But this is all that I had for this request. Okay, so I hope it gave you insight. And I'm hoping that you will be nurtured and loved by this genuine person, and that you will not have blockages, and if ever you need that closure, that they will be able to help you get it. But the person per se, whoever I'm sensing, is very like caring and nurturing, and it's a very sensitive person, but he feels a specific connection with you, which he might talk about or he might not talk about. Okay, so that's what I have. Good. Thank you very much, and have a good day, guys. Bye bye.